Okay.
It's not a,
There we go.
Yeah, that's inefficiency then. Okay. Welcome again. This is Rialto Unified School District regular meeting of the Board of Education for March 11th, 2026. Any individual who requires disability-related accommodations or modifications, including aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting, should contact the superintendent or designee in writing. Okay, call to the order is 5:30. And we are in open session. Can I have a motion and a second to move into closed session?
So
please?
move.
second,
Thank you. As provided by law, the following are the items for discussion and consideration at the closed session of the board meeting: public employee employment, discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment of employees per Government Code, Section 54957, student expulsions, reinstatements, expulsion enrollments, conference with labor negotiators, agency designated representatives, Alejandro Alvarez, Superintendent, Denise Ellis, Associate Superintendent of Human Resources, employee organizations, California School Employees Association, Chapter 203, CSEA, Rialto Education Association, REA, Teamsters Local 986, and Communication Workers of America, CWA. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 Delta and/or Delta 3, conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, significant exposure litigation. Number of potential claims, 1. Comments on closed session agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the closed session agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Dr. Alvarez?
No one has signed up.
Okay. Vote by board members to move into closed session. Aye?
Aye.
aye.
Thank you. We'll see you hopefully by 7. Okay, welcome back. We are at adjournment of closed session. Can I have a motion and a second to rejoin open session?
Second.
And votes, please, all at once.
Aye.
Aye.
Time is 7 p.m. Open session reconvened at 7 p.m. Pledge of Allegiance, and please join me in welcoming Myler High School 12th grade student Jacob Martinez, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent Dr. Alvarez, and viewing audience. My name is Emmanuel Flores Silva. I'm a senior at Myler High School, and I'm here to read the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of which is the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and for all.
Let the record correct. It is Mr. Silva. Okay. All right, tonight our Mustang 12th grader, Brian Ramirez, will present an original poem titled Hands on the Wheel. The piece is inspired by his personal journey at Myler High School and reflects on how his school has helped shape his goals and future. Brian, the floor is yours. There you are.
Hello, Board of Education. My name is Brian. Brian Ramirez. It started in a silence that kind of sits heavy in your chest after failing grades. Like, dang, maybe I'm just not built for this. School felt off, like I was there but not really there. Just moving through hallways with no direction, no ganas, no real plans. One bad choice turned into another. Tuesday afternoon, blue lights flashing, my stomach in knots, cold metals on my wrist that click, loud enough to wake me up. The judge said probation. I felt trapped, not just by the system, but my own decisions. Like I had built a cage and locked in myself. I was drifting, hands off the wheel, heading straight for a crash. Then came Myler, not perfect, not easy, but real. When I walked in, I carried that weight, shame, doubt, and doubt in my voice, in my head, saying, "You're not that kid." But the teachers didn't see that screw up. They saw someone who could level up, someone worth the time, worth the patience, and slowly started showing up different, more focused, more disciplined, más ganas, less excuses. Myler didn't just help my grades, they helped me grow up. It gave me structure when I had chaos, belief when I had none, a future that actually feels mine. Now when I think about what's next, I don't feel handcuffs. I see opportunities, I see goals, I see better version of me. It's that still grinding and still learning finally with my hands on the wheel.
Yeah. That was beautiful. Thank you, Brian. Principal Dr. Kyla Griffin and our amazing family for being here tonight. Go Mighty Mustangs. Okay, adoption of the agenda. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Okay,
Mr. President, do we have a report out from closed session?
yes. That's what I get for writing in the wrong spot. Please, Dr. Alvarez.
In closed session, the board took the following action. On the motion of Board Member Dominguez, second by Board Member Williams, the Board of Education took action to place certificated employee number 2127436, teacher on compulsory leave of absence pursuant to Education Code 44940 and 44940.5, and directed the superintendent designee to issue appropriate legal notice with a unanimous vote. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now let's try adopting the agenda again. Motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Aye. I have a poll.
Okay. Let's see.
Is the poll for the consent calendar item?
Okay, we can,
Pull it then?
yeah, when we get to E
I'd rather just pull it from the agenda.
entirely? Okay. Which is that?
E.2.5, approve comprehensive school safety plans for the 2026-2027 school year to be brought back in April for consideration.
Okay. Dr. Alvarez, is there a timeline on this? Is it due by a certain date?
Board President, my understanding there's not.
Okay.
What's the number?
E.2.5.
Okay. Do we have any other polls? Okay, I concur with your poll, by the way. Okay, so Dr. Alvarez, please bring it up at the April meeting. Okay, vote by board members to adopt the agenda as is, as amended.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, B, presentations. High School District Student Advisory Committee. Ms. Gonzalez?
Miranda Torres, Eisenhower High School.
That's how to represent green hair. I like it.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Martinez, distinguished members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Alvarez, and viewing audience. My name is Miranda Torres, and I have the great honor of being Eisenhower High School's ASB president. I'm so excited to be here tonight to share the thrilling things that have already occurred and will be happening at the school, at the home of the Eagles. First, to start off with the most exciting news that I think it's the most exciting, is that yesterday we were notified that Eisenhower High School was identified as a California Distinguished School. There were only 400 schools in the state that were identified, and we were one of them. Eisenhower students and staff have worked extremely hard, and this shows how hard they've worked. We're the only high school in the district to have this title, and all Eagles will presume to work very hard to continue to show what great things we are capable of. Part of that hard work includes state testing for the juniors. CAS testing is well underway at Ike. The juniors are currently in the middle of English testing, with math and science coming up after the spring break. We wish the best of luck to all our juniors. Our spring sports are also in progress. We have had some big wins from our Lady Eagles softball team, as well as our boys baseball team. In addition, it is officially choir competition season. And as usual, they have an amazing competition show. Furthermore, they have already brought back some impressive awards. If you have the chance, we would love for you to come out and support our teams and performance groups. Lastly, we have some fun things coming up before our spring break. First, this Friday, we will have a Friday the 13th event with food and a scary movie, followed by next week's annual ASB Eagle Leprechaun Hunt and Leprechaun Trap Challenge. Avid will also be hosting their Avid Family Game Night next week before spring break. Most notably, next Wednesday evening, we will be hosting our annual Distinguished Scholar Dinner event at Sierra Lakes. We will be honoring 71 seniors who have a cumulative GPA of 4.0 or higher. We hope to see some of you there. Once again, thank you for your time. I'm Miranda Torres, representing Eagle Leadership.
Tiffany Alvarez, Rialto High School.
Good evening, Board President Mr. Martinez, Superintendent Dr. Alvarez, Honorable Board of Education, and viewing audience. My name is Tiffany Alvarez, ASB Ambassador at Rialto High School, home of the Knights. Rialto High School is doing great things as we head into spring break. The LPAC was given in February, and due to the hard work of our amazing staff and EL coach, we are currently have a 97% competition rate. In the area of academic achievement, we will hold our annual Top 25 celebration on March 19th. This event celebrates the top 25 students in each grade level based on GPA. The counseling department recently selected representatives for both boys and girls state. Congratulations to Aiden Barreto, boys state delegate, and Brittany Perez, girls state delegate. This program empowers young Californians with the knowledge, skills, and confidence necessary to actively engage in civic responsibility, foster inclusive communities, and drive positive change in our society. Our counselors also participated in the second annual Rocks Conference at Eisenhower. They took 20 RHS girls who learned about this curriculum-based program that focuses on empowerment and confidence. Our Knights are also doing amazing things in the community. Our MESA program earned many awards at the UCR MESA Day competition, and our NGRTC cadets continue to bring home numerous trophies from each of the various competitions they have completed in. Our theater and choir departments open our spring musical, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, on Thursday. This musical will run Thursday through Saturday. Our award-winning jazz choir heads into competition in May, and the RHS Marching Band recently qualified for the California State Band Championships.
Yes. Yes.
Our marching band also participated in San Francisco's Chinese New Year Parade this past weekend. And our 8 O'Clockers Jazz Ensemble has continued to grow and perform all over Rialto and the surrounding area. ASB held our Winter Pep Rally that celebrated our winter sports and had performances by many campus groups. ASB also hosted our annual Read Across RHS event. This event is an annual tradition that started in 1998. This year, we had many classes, including ELD and special ed classes, which opened their doors to host second grade classes from Garcia, Morris, Boyd, and Simpson. Our classes read books and did engaging literacy-based events with our visiting second graders. Currently, ASB is working with Avid to host our Spring Festival and Nightcella events in April. Nightcella is a new event that allows local musicians and groups the opportunity to perform. Finally, we want to congratulate our boys basketball team on being named CAF champions for Division 7. Way to go, Knights. As you can see, we have a lot happening at Rialto High School. We are proud of all our accomplishments in and out of the classroom. Thank you for your time.
Rudy Ochoa, Carter High School.
Good evening, Board President Martinez, Board of Education, and viewing audience. My name is Rudy Ochoa, and I am here on the behalf of Wilmermina Carter High School as ASB President. There have been some amazing things happening at Carter High School recently. Just this last week, to start this month off, we had Cashella, a celebration for all of our college-bound seniors who filled out their FAFSA and or CATA to receive federal, state, and school financial aid. On the same day of our Cashella, Hughbanks, Cordiac, and Fitzgerald Elementary Schools visited Carter High for our first annual Reading Across America event. We had our fantastic staff read Dr. Seuss books, our thespians put on 2 plays, and much more to promote literacy and unforgettable moments for our young students. We look forward to hosting again next year. A quick highlight from our athletics. 2 of our wrestlers just recently competed at the state level. We had Michael Martinez in the 190-pound weight class and Neo Ramos in the 100-pound weight class. A big congratulations to them for representing Carter High at the state level. During February, Carter High School proudly celebrated Black History Month with a special event honoring our school's namesake, Wilmer Amina Carter, who joined us as our guest of honor. It was a meaningful opportunity for our students and staff to celebrate Black excellence in the presence of someone whose legacy of leadership, advocacy, and service continues to inspire our community today. Throughout last week, we at Carter hosted the district music event. We were honored to have hosted and astounded by the amount of talent our musicians have here in Rialto Unified School District. To bring things to a close, our ASB invites all of you to attend our Spring Carnival this Friday, March 13th from 5 to 8 p.m. We'll be having an inflatable obstacle course, food, and much more from our student-led clubs which will be fundraising at the event. The entrance fee will be $5 for students and for children under 13 and $10 for adults. So come by for a bite, fun, and to support our clubs here at Carter. Thank you for your continued support and commitment to us students. We look forward to finishing this year off with pride, unity, and excellence. Thank you.
Hold this, yeah.
Greetings, Board President Mr. Martinez, Vice President Mr. Montez, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Alvarez, and viewing audience. I am Audrey Gonzalez, your Rialto Unified School District student board member. I am happy to share some exciting updates from Myler High School and Zupanik Virtual Academy as we move closer to the end of another successful school year. First, we are proud to share that approximately 25 Myler and 6 ZVA students are on track to graduate this quarter, which ends next week. We are incredibly proud of these students and the hard work they have put in to reach this milestone. As we move forward, graduation season, our seniors continue to work diligently to finish strong and prepare to cross the stage in June. Their perseverance and determination continues to inspire all of us. We are also preparing to welcome around 70 new students joining our school for the fourth quarter. We are excited to meet them, and we look forward to supporting them in their successful journeys as they become part of Myler and Zupanik community. Another highlight this quarter was My Myler Story, student contest, where students created pieces sharing their personal journeys and perseverance, growth, and success. We received many thoughtful submissions, including essays, poems, and impressive artwork. You had the opportunity to hear from our winning student, Brian Ramirez, during the board presentation. I'd like to showcase 2 of the art pieces for the viewing audience. One piece will be turned into a student mural on canvas using mixed mediums consisting of spray paint, acrylic paint, and oil paint by senior student Nicholas Valdez, and another drawing featuring ink will be featured on our class of 2026 senior shirts. This year submitted by Efren Morales. The contest was a powerful reminder of the resilience and determination of our students. Yesterday, March 10, 2026, students from both Myler and Zupanik attended the Physics Day field trip at Knott's Berry Farm, where they had the opportunity to explore real-world science concepts in a fun and engaging way. Experiences like this help students see how physics and engineering come to life beyond the classroom. March has also been a time of celebration as we recognize Women's History Month. with decorations and activities honoring influential women and their contributions throughout history. Next week, we will also be celebrating Spirit Week, where students can show their school pride through fun dress-up days and activities. We are very thankful to our ASB students for the energy, creativity they bring in planning these events that help build community and school spirit. We also want to share our continued excitement for the upcoming Sensory Night Prom on April 4th. This inclusive event is designed to create a fun and comfortable prom experience that supports the diverse needs of our students. It will be a night full of music, dancing, and celebration. We are confident it will be an unforgettable experience for everyone involved. Lastly, our students have benefited from visits from the Love Program and Bell's Education, which have been working with our students to support social emotional learning, personal growth, and future planning. Our students have really enjoyed these programs and opportunities they provide to reflect and learn, build skills for the future. As we always remain committed to helping our students grow as responsible, respectful, safe, and focused members of our school community. Thank you for your continued support of Myler High School and Zupanik Virtual Academy. We hope everyone enjoys the upcoming spring break, and we look forward to finishing the school year strong.
Okay, we continue with B2, fiscal year 2024-2025 annual audited financial report. Presentation by Andrew Park, CPA, partner, ID Bailey Limited Partnership, regarding fiscal year 2024-2025 annual audited financial report.
Good evening, everybody.
Welcome.
Well, I'm not Andrew, but I am here in place of Andrew. My name is Shiloh Gorospe. I am a business partner of Andrew's. He apologizes for not being able to be here tonight, but he did brief me on your report for the fiscal year ended June 30, 2025, to be able to present for you. And of course, happy to take questions as well if there are any. The way I always like to start my presentations is just to give you a brief reminder of what we're here for. An audit is designed to provide you with reasonable but not absolute assurance that the financial statements as presented are materially stated based on our audit. And page 1 of this report is our auditor's report. That's our opinion. It's really the whole purpose of why we're here. So if you're looking and following along in your book, you will see our independent auditor's report on page 1. And as I mentioned, the goal is to provide reasonable assurance about the financial statements being materially stated. We do so by issuing what we refer to as an unmodified opinion. That's the highest level of assurance we can provide in an audit. We consider that to be a clean opinion on the financial statements. And so your report tonight is an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. Now, we don't just report on the financial statements themselves. I'm not going to go through every page in this document, but page 109 is a great summary that will cover the other 3 reports that are included within our whole report. The first of those is our report on internal control over the financial reporting. This is not an opinion on your internal controls. Rather, we are required to report out if we do identify any deficiencies in internal control that we would classify as either material weaknesses or significant deficiencies. And so as you look through page 109, we did have a control deficiency that we had classified as a material weakness, and no deficiencies that we identified as significant. The next report is on your federal programs. This is a report on compliance as well as on internal controls. So in that report, we are giving you an opinion on compliance. We did provide an unmodified opinion for all of the programs tested with the exception of your child nutrition cluster, which did have a qualification to the opinion. And we did report some control deficiencies on the compliance with respect to that program as well. And then on your state compliance, again, this is a report, an opinion on compliance as well as a report on internal control. And there were no material weaknesses or significant deficiencies, and unmodified opinion on all of the state programs that were audited. I will pause with that. That's probably a lot of information. Hopefully everybody had a chance to review your report in advance, but I am happy to go over any of the details or any specific pages that you'd like.
Dr. Lewis?
Was there action on the child nutrition program?
So I will defer to management to discuss their specific corrective action, but yes, the pages that follow that, page 109, if you turn to pages like 110, 111, management does include their corrective action within the report. So we've given management a chance to respond to those comments. We haven't followed up to see if corrective action has officially taken place, because that would happen in the next year.
Okay.
So.
But their explanation, was it sufficient when you did your audit report?
We don't audit their corrective action. We don't really opine on whether we think it was an appropriate corrective action. Rather, what we'll do is next year, when we look to see if whatever the corrective action was, if it's been implemented, we will re-audit the program and determine if the issues that were in place have been implemented as well.
Well, there is a statement here that says the district has established additional procedures to strengthen its internal controls to ensure that each entry with the nutritional service data management system meets required program criteria and is fully supported by the appropriate documentation.
Is that, what page is that on?
This is that you sort of audit findings and district corrective action.
Is there a page reference for the report that I can refer to?
This is sort of what you.
I believe it's
If I may add,
Yeah.
that is a summary that was prepared by the staff
Got it. Okay.
for the board.
Is it a part of the corrective action?
Yes, it
Okay.
includes the corrective action.
Right. So this was reviewed by the firm?
We don't audit the corrective action. What we do is look to see if whatever the corrective action that was established, next year when we do the audit, right, we will look to see if it's actually been implemented.
Was it reviewed, submitted for review?
It was not submitted to the audit firm, it was submitted to the state.
Okay, thank you.
Have we received any feedback from the state in regards to this recommendation of, that we submitted?
The state has not completed their process,
Okay,
and so once they're done with their closeout procedures, we're going to get a report. Last time we spoke in February, that was the answer I was given.
okay.
Yeah, usually the state will come back and let the district know if they are satisfied with the response. But of course, what happens is you'll see if you look at the back of the report, we always have the prior year findings in the back where we say whether or not they're ongoing or if the corrective actions have been implemented. So that usually happens obviously a year later.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Well, thank you very much, and I appreciate the audit findings, especially on page 111, 113.
She was just partially. She has another portion.
Yeah,
Okay.
she has to.
Are we doing the bonds? The reports
Were you
next?
finished the second portion? I know you paused.
Yes. Continue.
We have two more.
Is the bond reports correct? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so then what we have for you, and I'll do these two somewhat together, but you have both your Measure A and your Measure Y reports. And these are your, they're both financial and performance audits. So not only do we provide specific set of financial audit and opinion on the financial statements for the specific measures, but then we're also providing what we refer to as a performance report. And the performance report talks specifically to, that's the compliance piece, whether or not the district has spent the measure dollars as approved by the voters in accordance with the ballot measure. So if you're looking at your Measure A report, similar to the independent auditor's report for the district's financial statements, you have an unmodified opinion on the financial statements for your Measure A. Again, the highest level of assurance that we provide in an audit. And then when you scroll to the second half of the report, and it starts on about page 14, that's where we go into the performance piece of the audit. This is where we're going to look at the expenditures and determine whether or not they're following the approved ballot measure. And specifically, if you looked at page 16, we talk through the procedures that we performed, and the testing on methodology number 3 really reflects for you just the extent of the testing that is done for that performance piece. I draw attention to this because I do feel as though most folks like to see just how much testing is done on these bonds. And as you can see there, just under 6 million out of 6.5 million is what we tested in that specific bond audit. So over 90% of the expenditures were reviewed in the Measure A audit. So that's a pretty high percentage testing for any audit. So just for what it's worth, I like to mention that. And then as well for your Measure Y audit, again, an unmodified opinion on the financial statements themselves. And then when you go back and look at the performance audit, page 16 would be that same page I just referenced for Measure A. When you look at your methodology, again, number 3 kind of shows you exactly how much we tested, and just under 9.7 million out of 11.9 million that was actually tested, which is over 80% of those expenditures were subject to the audit. So another large percentage of expenditures tested within the Measure Y audit. That's it.
Questions or comments, board? Okay. Dr. Alvarez, do you have any statement, question? Okay. It looked good. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that. And making whatever corrections and modifications that we have to do in-house, bringing those to light. Greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too. Okay, B3, general obligation bond, Measure A we just covered, Measure Y we just covered. So 2024 citizens, well, okay, by committee chair. 2024 Citizens Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report of Measure Y and A. Presentation on the 2024-2025 Citizens Bond Oversight Committee Annual Report, Measure Y and A, by Michelle Crane, Committee Chair.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to present. I have the honor of being the chairperson for the Bond Oversight Committee for the last couple of years. This is very near and dear to my heart for many reasons. The bond oversight was for Measure Y and Measure A, and it's the annual report that's required by the Ed Code 15280. The report, I hope you guys have a copy. Do you have a copy of this?
Yes.
With you? Okay, good. The report shared with the board covers Measure Y and Measure A expenditures and the activities from July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. Measure Y was approved by the voters in the 2010 election and Measure A in the 2022 election. To summarize the report that you've received, page 2 provides the names of our committee members who volunteer their time to oversee that the bond funds are spent in accordance with the scope that was approved by the voters. Page 3 gives a background to Measure Y approved in 2010 for a 98 million general obligation bond and Measure A in 2022 for 340 million. Next on page 4 is a summary of the Series D expenditures. And you will notice the most notable completion of Measure Y projects were for the two-story buildings at Eisenhower. And the funds from Measure A and Measure Y were split to complete that project. I hope everybody has seen those buildings. They are absolutely lovely. It is my alma mater, my 4 children's alma mater, and maybe a couple of grandchildren as well. We'll see. Page 5 is a summary of Measure A 2023 series expenditures. And the projects listed are the long-awaited beautiful Eisenhower High School two-story buildings, the initial cost in design and testing for those two gyms at Kolb and Frisbee Middle Schools. So those are going to be the next big projects that get started. Pages 6 and 7 are pictures of the projects that make Rialto very proud to provide safe and engaging learning environments for all of our students. And there's a list of frequently asked questions on the remaining pages of that report, including a sample of the calculation used by the San Bernardino County Tax Assessor's Office that determines the amount of taxes that are going to be paid on those bonds. And if there are any additional tax questions, the public can always contact the San Bernardino County Tax Assessor's Office. And for bond-related questions, you can contact district facilities and speak to Angie or George, and they will help you with those questions. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I'm here to fulfill the obligation of presenting the annual report to you. There is no action that needs to be taken on this by the board. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Committee Chair Crane. Okay, comments. C1, public comments not on the agenda. At this time, any person wishing to speak on any item not on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. 3 minutes per speaker, 20 minutes per topic.
Mr. President, how often do the committee meet? How often do the bond committee meet?
That you'd have to ask them. They report once a year.
Okay, I was just curious.
We meet 3 or 4 times a year.
Oh, okay.
We meet 3 or 4 times a year. We're required to meet, I think, at least 3 times by the ed code. Okay?
Are there any other questions for your runoff? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, public comments not on the agenda. Dr. Alvarez.
Tisha Curry? Is that right?
Hi, good evening, President Martinez, Board of Trustees. Welcome, Dr. Alvarez. I speak to you tonight as a longtime resident of Rialto. I have happily been here for 30 years. I was just doing some math and realized, wow, I love living in Rialto. I love my neighborhood. We walk dogs around the neighborhood. We get to know our neighbors, much different than being where I grew up, where kind of didn't have that homey, kind of old town feel, where we all walk our dogs and get to know each other. My kids went to Cordiac. I have had foreign exchange students even attend Rialto schools, and I cannot imagine living anywhere else. What has surprised me is how many times Rialto School District has been in the news. And I felt compelled to come tonight, which I haven't spoken at a board meeting in over 20 years, so a little nervous, because we're in the news again. And I was horrified driving down streets and seeing that we have a huge reserve and we are not, I don't understand not paying our employees, our custodians, our teachers a living amount. And the COLA keeps going out. I am my own self struggling with college students paying car insurance. I'm struggling paying Costco gas just last week. And so I just can't imagine the LPAC scores and hearing some of the fabulous things that are happening at your schools. And teachers are doing that. Your food service workers who are feeding the kids to get them to be ready to learn. Your custodians who are having those clean classrooms. I think that they deserve a better raise than what is being offered, what I've read in the news. I think it's appropriate, and I ask for you to reconsider and give them the amount that they deserve. Thank you.
Is it Delicia Satuk?
I have to adjust this for the short people. Good evening, board members and Superintendent Dr. Avila. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Delicia Shattuck, and I'm a 4th grade teacher at Henry Elementary. Over the past decade, the environment in which teaching and learning take place has changed dramatically. The rise of social media and constant digital connectivity has reshaped how students experience information, attention, and interaction. Today's students are growing up in a world where information arrives instantly, stimulation changes every few seconds, feedback is immediate, and the opportunities for boredom are rare. These changes have not altered the potential of our students, but they have significantly increased the demands and complexity of teaching. Because of this environment, many students have fewer natural opportunities to develop skills such as sustained focus, delayed gratification, persistence through difficult tasks, and tolerance for slower-paced learning. This is not a failure of students. It is a predictable developmental response to the world in which they are growing up. Much of the learning students do in school relies on those very skills: listening to instruction, reading extended text, solving multi-step problems, and working through frustration. As a result, teachers now spend more instructional time explicitly teaching and supporting these learning behaviors alongside academic content. Because of this shift, the work of teaching has expanded. Teachers today do far more than deliver academic content. They rebuild attention stamina, differentiate instruction across wider academic ranges, integrate technology, communicate with families, and create structured environments where students can focus and thrive. A lesson that once focused primarily on subject matter now also requires building the conditions that make learning possible: focus, persistence, organization, and confidence. This reflects a profession that has become more complex and more demanding. Teachers now serve not only as instructors, but also as instructional designers, mentors, facilitators of social development, and coordinators of student support within a single school day. Across many professions, when responsibilities expand and expertise requirements increase, compensation structures evolve to reflect the changing scope of the work. Teaching is experiencing the same expansion. The level of professional expertise, adaptability, and sustained cognitive and emotional effort required of teachers today is greater than in previous decades. When the complexity and demands of a profession grow, it is reasonable for compensation to grow as well. Recognizing this is not about blaming students or comparing generations. It is about acknowledging that supporting students in today's digitally connected world requires more from educators than ever before. A 5% adjustment in compensation recognizes the expanded professional demands of teaching, helps retain experienced educators, and supports stable, high-quality learning environments for students. Teaching has changed. The work has become more demanding. Compensation should reflect that reality. Thank you for your time and your continued commitment to students and public education.
Joshua Trevino.
Good evening, board, and good evening, parents and faculty and teachers. Thank you so much for the work that you all do. I'm here today because I wanted to, I hear a lot about the fiscal impact that the board is considering, decisions that are being made. I just really want to remember to center our students in this discussion too, specifically our students with disabilities. My son is on the autism spectrum. He attends district here, as well as my daughter does as well. But I want to just say that fiscal stability doesn't automatically equal stability in education. We can have fiscal stability, but if we don't see it stable in the education that our kids receive, then what's the point of being fiscally stable? The purpose is for our kids to be taught. My son uses an AAC device, and it's been so difficult to try to get to a point where we are now able to use his AAC device functionally. He's using it to show what he knows in his curriculum. Teacher is expected to use it to facilitate his learning. But we're disheartened when we have such a carousel of teachers coming in and out of his life. We've been in the district for about 3 years now, and we've gone through a total of 7 teachers. We've had substitutes on rotation. We've had really good teachers that were supposed to be permanent, but ended up not. And I think this is a direct result of a lack of competitive salary. I really hope that you consider the 5% increase that teachers are asking for, because my son is depending on it. He's doing his part. You know, he's waking up every morning. He's putting on his clothes with, I'm sorry, I get emotional. Sorry. He puts on his clothes. He stays still so I can do his hair. And he puts his iPad on him, and he walks to school. And all he wants is to be taught. He's owed an education, and he's owed a consistent education from a certified teacher who deserves the right to be paid a living wage and a salary with that 5%. And I really hope that you consider what is being asked for, because it is owed to our teachers. I want to stress that, but it is also owed to my son and individuals like my son who are doing their part. They're showing up, and all they ask for is consistency in the teachers that they work with, the implementation of their education. It matters significantly. So please think about my son, think about families like mine when you consider the 5% increase that is being asked for. I appreciate your time, and thank you.
Latoya Wallace.
Good evening, and thank you for this opportunity. My name is Latoya Wallace. I have been a teacher in this district for 26 years, and I'm very proud to say that. This evening, I would like to talk to you about the 5% increase that we need. But first, I'd like to paint a picture for you. 1 week from tomorrow, classroom doors are going to be open for our families to tour. This is what it sounds like. Oh, is this your work? Did you make this, mijo? Honey, show me your desk. Teacher, say hi to my mom. Parents are looking at the windows and the walls going, wow, you guys do a lot of stuff in school, don't you? Wow, you've been working hard, aren't you? Haven't you been? Your classroom is so nice, it's so pretty. Conversations and comments like this are going to ring through every elementary school next Thursday during our open house. I can guarantee you that a grand portion of what teachers use for projects and activities, all of those nice things that we hang and the children work on to complete, I can guarantee you that a grand amount of that comes from things that we have purchased on our own. Yes, the district supplies materials, but we go over and above. We come out of our own pockets to make it that much more special, to make it that much cuter, to make it that much more engaging for the kids that we teach and the kids that we love. Without recognizing this increase, there's a real fear that many of us are going to have to pause and consider and contemplate whether or not we can buy that extra activity that we saw on Amazon or the materials that are going to supplement our science curriculum. We're going to have to pause because I got gas last week at Costco and it was way more than my budget said it should be. And I want to provide my students with those fun, engaging things. Many of you have visited the school that I work at. It's a beautiful school. It's an amazing school. We pour into it. Every teacher pours into our classrooms. So this 5% is not a want. It's not just a desire. It's a necessity. We need to continue to be able to not pause. If we see something that's going to be great, I want to be able to buy it. I want to be able to bring it into my classroom and get it for my students without worrying, well, maybe my biological kids can eat PB&J for a couple days so I can buy this ant farm for my students. We shouldn't have to make that decision. I came to this district 26 years ago. I had an offer from Pomona Unified School District, and I was waiting to be interviewed for San Bernardino. I chose Rialto because of the pay and the respect they gave their teachers. Please reconsider. Thank you.
Noah Snyder.
Good evening, President Martinez, members of the board, Dr. Alvarez, members of the community, and last but not least, certainly members of both REA and CSEA. My name is Noah Snyder. I'm the labor relations representative for the California School Employees Association and its Rialto Chapter 203. I'm relatively new. I'm covering this chapter for a short period of time, but I've only been here for about 3 weeks, and we've been engaged in negotiations in good faith with this district for the last, 1 year at this point. Our contract has now been expired for fastly approaching a year. We would love to get a deal with the district. Our proposals have been more than reasonable at this point, and I recently was in receipt of the district's financial forms, including Form 01. What I discovered surprised me, that the 3.75% on salary increase that CSEA proposes not only in budget, it's actually below budget, predicated upon what the district has budgeted for the classified bargaining unit overall. So we are going to ask you to direct your agents at the table to please meet our needs. Our members are some of the lowest paid public workers in the state. And if I'm being frank, it's a little annoying when people who make well over $250,000 a year tell people who are making $30,000 a year that they can't make $31,000 a year. So I would ask you once again, please direct your agents to provide the compensation increase that we deserve. Thank you.
Stacy Norman.
Good evening, and I just want to start by thanking Ms. Williams for coming to my classroom this week. My kindergartners were so excited, and you did an amazing job reading your story. And I want to thank Dr. Gibbs also for coming. It's always a pleasure when you come. We love having you, so thank you. Appreciate it. So I come to you tonight again, but on this time on behalf of a colleague and a dear friend of mine. Again, my name is Stacy Norman, and I'm, speaking on behalf of my friend, sorry. Let's address the board president's claim that the average Rialto teacher makes $150,000. According to the district's own seniority list, only 113 out of the 1,416 teachers have the 30-plus years of experience required to even approach the top of our pay scale. That is less than 10%. For the rest of us, that $150,000 is a myth. When these generalizations are made publicly, it creates a narrative that does not reflect our reality. Words matter, especially when they shape the public's perception of the people educating their children. In what other profession is a worker's pay determined by scores produced under such volatile conditions? Our students come to us with needs and challenges outside of our control, yet we meet them where they are every day. If raises must be justified by scores, does that standard apply to everyone? What metrics were used to determine the raises of the leadership sitting above us? While the district becomes increasingly top-heavy, we are told to justify our worth through measurable results. We should expect that same level of accountability from the top down. Let's talk about the reality. My colleague cares for 27 young students every day. Then she goes home to a 2-year-old daughter who doesn't understand why mommy has to go to work. The workload follows her through that front door. Every night, she, like many of us, face a choice between her child's needs and her own need for something as simple as sleep. Because the second shift of lesson planning and grading doesn't even start until her daughter goes to bed. The district likes to remind us to practice self-care, but then expects us to staff the after-school programs and engagement events that pull us even further from our own homes. We aren't asking for a luxury. We are asking for a wage that keeps up with the rising cost of living, and especially with the rising costs of daycare that have increased significantly for 2 years in a row. The district argues that holding $200 million in reserves is protecting the future. But you cannot protect the future while the present people are burning out.
Thank you.
Winter Rogers?
Hello. Good evening, school board. I'm actually here on behalf of Jaden Cassidy and her mom, Marcia Cassidy. Marcia is very ill. She couldn't make it tonight. So Jaden wanted me to bring this statement in that she's prepared for you. So if you could please give everybody one. I'm sorry, I don't have one for you. This is Jaden. You guys have seen her in here before. On the statement, Jaden has made a short note, and it says, "My aide, Miss Winter, was taken away. I want her back at Myler High School so I can go back to school. I miss my friends." Jaden hasn't been to school for close to 2 months now, and she wants to go back to school. She loves school. She lives for school. No matter what, she's there every single day. She doesn't understand why that happened, and she herself wants answers. Jaden is 19 years old and should be participating in her IEP, making choices that affect her and her school career. She's wondering why she hasn't been asked, "What do you want, Jaden? Jaden, how are you feeling? Jaden, do you want to come back to school?" No one's asking Jaden how she feels, and she's the one being impacted the most here. So sometimes it feels like our students are this, just a number, just a dollar sign. But are they really? They're really humans. They're people. They're students. They're adults. They're children. But right now, this problem has already cost the district money. So if each student is $80 to $100 per day for you guys, then Jaden's already costs close to $4,000 missing school that the district's not getting. And if she doesn't show up for the rest of her 2 years, there's $36,000 the district is not getting. And they're paying an aide that's there every day with no student. So really, if we want to treat Jaden like the adult she is, she's 19. You guys are mailing her certified mail that she cannot roll to the mailbox and get, that she cannot read. Then ask her how she feels and what she wants, because she is the important one, not administration. It's her career and it's her life at school. Thank you.
Crystal Andujo?
Hello, board members and community members. My name is Crystal Andujo. I am a Rialto native. I've went to all Rialto schools my whole life. My children are now coming to Rialto schools. And I'd like to start off by acknowledging and giving praise to the SRLA team. This Sunday, the team completed with grit and resilience the Alley Marathon despite the record heat levels. More specifically, I'd like to give praise to the teachers who have sacrificed their time, labor, patience, and skill, all for the love of our students and community. All of the hours of training, both physically and mentally, have not gone unnoticed. As a parent, I've seen how much my child has been able to grow and spread her wings thanks to this program. This labor of love for our students should be acknowledged and appreciated at the district level. Each coach has taken the time to teach our children much more than a sport. They are teaching them to persevere, aim for a goal, and not only meet it, but also complete it at their full capacity, even when the going gets tough. But I am here to ask the district to, at the very least, take into consideration these teachers who become coaches and mentors to our students. by making it a paid position and compensating them for their time that they have dedicated and continue to dedicate for our students. And another thing, it's about their safety. They've provided a level of safety that I can't even imagine what it's cost them. They've run out in the streets, in the mornings, in the evenings, on their own time, while they have their own families to worry about, taking time from their own families. We've had to get up early to take our kids, but what has it cost them? And they have not complained. And they've finished that marathon as well. And they have a marathon to go for their career. Please take them into consideration. And thank you for your time.
Sandy Peña.
Good evening, Dr. Alvarez, board members, and audience. My name is Sandy Peña with Vertec Waste Industries, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about Senate Bill 1383, short-lived climate pollutants. Senate Bill 1383, which is all about recycling organic material, comes with a 75% diversion goal of organic waste by the end of 2025. 1383 has 6 main pillars. The one we focus on today will be education and outreach. With that in mind, we at Vertec Waste created the packet that you see in front of you, school activity packet, all about waste and recycling. If you'll do me a favor and flip it open with me. On the top, you see, we took our best shot and created a mock lesson plans for teachers that they are more than welcome to use in class. On the first left-hand side, you'll see a flap there with the QR code that takes you directly to our Kids Corner, which has the items inside the packet available digitally. I know, show it to everybody. It's cute, huh? Yes. We have our Barrels of Fun book. We created a super cute little story for the kiddos to help them engage. It's basically the 3 barrels, the trash, recycling, and organics, having a conversation with each other, talking about what happens to the contents of the barrel once it gets picked up, each location that they go to. Followed by activity sheets. We have everything from crossword puzzles to counting items to coloring pages. And last but not least, what goes where posters, one for solid waste, recycling, and organics. We encourage teachers to hang these in high traffic areas like libraries, cafeterias, and of course their classroom. With that being said, I'm happy to report that we have collaborated with Ms. Juanita Chan from Educational Services. My associates, Myra Andrade and Ms. Diana Guzman, and I provide presentations on solid waste, recycling, and organics to first grade kiddos every Tuesdays during their field trips. We started about October, November-ish, and we'll be continuing through the end of the school year. At this time, during the presentations, we donate a packet to all of the first grade teachers that take their kiddos. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for allowing us the time to speak, and we hope that all Rialto residents please bag their food waste and place it inside your green container. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we continue with public comments on the agenda items. Any person wishing to speak on any item on the agenda will be granted 3 minutes. Okay. No further comments. C3, comments from association executive board members. REA, Rialto Education Association.
My apologies to the translation crew. I'm not going to use my prepared remarks, and so they're going to have trouble keeping up with me. I was really moved by what I heard the community say tonight, and I want to address some of those issues. I meet regularly with Dr. Alvarez. We actually met yesterday, and one of the issues that he shared with me that he wants to focus on is special education, and it's one that means a lot to us as well. We've actually restructured our union to add a special ed director and to put a special ed teacher on our negotiations team because we feel that those issues are so critical. I want you to know that we've been talking about staffing in this this district. And last year, we hired 21 new special ed teachers. We also then turned around and let a bunch of them go and had some of them resign because it's a tough job. And so we see a lot of turnover in special ed. And one of the things we talked about is the need to increase those salaries and maybe have some special stipends and things like that to make those jobs more attractive so that we can retain people and get people who are fully qualified. Because one of the things we often do is we end up getting people who are in the process of becoming a teacher and they don't have all of the credentials. And this is one of the reasons they often end up being let go, because they haven't finished the process and they have to have that within a certain time frame. But this is important, right? Like, these kids are the most vulnerable ones in our district, and we're doing them a disservice. And I want you to know that REA has stood here at this podium many times advocating for lower class sizes, lower caseloads for our special ed students. I know over the last 2 years, particularly with the SEED program, first they were at a cap for 8. Then the district pushed them up to 9, then up to 15, and we got you to go back down to 12. And so, you know, these are conversations. And, you know, yes, there's lots of kids and we need services, but you can't provide the services if you don't have the people, right? Another issue that we need to address, frankly, is these outsourced companies that we're hiring because we don't pay enough, and so we can't hire the people, so we get these companies that will give us outsourced instructional aides or behavioralists. And my teachers report back to me that they struggle with these people who are not district employees who are hired, and we need to do better. Why are we spending millions of dollars to these private companies for them to go and find people instead of just getting the people ourselves here? Pay them right, treat them right, train them, and bring them in and have them be a part of our district. So there's a lot of comprehensive things there I just think we have to have a conversation about. Next thing I wanted to say, congratulations to Eisenhower High School, right? California Distinguished School. They have got a fantastic administrative team over there, and that administrative team and the staff that works with them are doing amazing things. And, you know, in my job, often I get called to schools when there's problems. I don't get called over to Eisenhower very often, and so when I do go over there, a lot of times it's because I'm being invited because they're doing something really cool, and they do a really good job of keeping me in the loop with their newsletter and all their stuff, and they're very focused on their goals. And so we have to give credit where credit is due, and when it's time to celebrate with them, I hope you, and I said this to Dr. Alvarez the other day, I hope you buy tables for all the teachers that you can so they get to be there. They shouldn't have to come out of pocket to be at a celebration for their school. I know that one of the things I heard from Simpson when they got their California Distinguished Schools, some of them couldn't afford to go, and that just breaks my heart. And we're paying for tables for the dignitaries to be there. Let's pay for some tables for our teachers to be there. So I just want you to know that that's important. And then some of our teachers that spoke tonight. My original comments that I was going to say, we're going to share with you the perspective of what's happening with some of our teachers with this economy, and really let you know that this job in many ways has become too much. And then when you add on top of that, that we're not really being paid what we need to get paid to survive. There's an article that came out the other day that 71% of the teachers in this country are working second jobs. You ask our teachers, and a lot of them say, oh, I'm not working a second job. But you did Saturday school, right? Yeah. Oh, you did the tutoring hub? Yeah. And so they're working these jobs, but they're not thinking of it as a second job because it's still with the district. But they did their regular job, and they stayed here for another 2 hours for the tutoring hub, and then they gave up all day on Saturday. They have a second job, you know? And they're having to do that to survive, to pay their bills. And I want us to get to where they don't have to do that, where that just becomes something that I can choose to do if I want to, versus something I absolutely have to have. And there's a lot of people that are in that boat where they have to have that second job to survive. So I hope you take that under consideration and give us the 5% we're asking for, because it's reasonable.
Okay, we move on to California School Employees Association.
Good evening, President, board members, and Superintendent. My name is Christina Costa, and I'm speaking tonight as the president of CSEA on behalf of our classified employees and the people who keep this district running every day. Let's not forget, classified staff are the first faces students see in the morning and often the last people ensuring campuses are safe and ready for the next day. We are the custodians who keep the schools clean, the bus drivers who safely transport the students, the nutrition service workers feeding the children, the instructional aides supporting the classrooms, and the office staff keeping everything organized and functioning. Without classified employees, our schools simply do not operate. Tonight, I want to talk about the numbers, because numbers tell a very clear story. According to the district's own budget documents, the district budgeted $62,394,216 for a classified bargaining unit in the 2024-25 fiscal year. For 25-26 fiscal year, that number increases to $66,371,140. That represents an increase of $3.9 million, or about 6% increase in salaries for classified bargaining unit. Keep in mind that we took a cut in positions last year, and we had numerous retirees that also saved you money. At the same time, the district has budgeted 12.2% increase for health and 12.2% increase for health and welfare benefits. When we remove the increases associated with classified management, what remains is still a very clear picture. The district has already built significant growth into the budget for classified employees. CSEA's proposal is 3.75. Let me repeat that, 3.75. When you compare that proposal to the district's own projected increase, the math shows something important. After accounting for the salary increase associated with CSEA's proposal, there would still be over $1.6 million remaining within the budget increase. That's not a deficit. That is not a hardship. That is flexibility. The remaining funding could support things the district itself has set our priorities. Reclassifications, increasing hours for nutrition services staff, addressing workload issues, and strengthening services that directly impact the students. CSEA is not asking for something unrealistic. We are not asking for something responsible, reasonable, and supported by the district's own financial planning. Classified employees has faced rising costs just like everybody else. Housing, groceries, gas, healthcare. Many of our members work multiple jobs simply to stay afloat. Yet they still show up every day committed to the students and families of this district. What we are asking for tonight is recognition of that commitment. A 3.75 increase is affordable. It fits within the 6% salary growth already reflected in the district's budget and still leaves room to address other operational needs. When districts talk about investing in education, that investment must include the people who make education possible every single day. Classified employees are not an afterthought in the educational system. We are a fundamental part of it. We are asking the board to look carefully at the numbers, recognize the capacity that already exists in the budget, and work with CSEA to reach a fair agreement that respects the employees who serve this district. Because when you invest in classified staff, you invest in safer campuses, stronger services, and better outcomes for the students. And that is something every single one of us in this room should be able to support. Thank you.
Teamsters Local 986. Okay. We can come back to them if they do show up. Communication Workers of America, CWA. Okay, we will return as well. Rialto School Managers Association, RSMA. All right. We will continue with comments from the student board member.
Good evening. I don't really have anything prepared, but from what I was hearing, a lot of great things. From what I've seen too. First, I just want to, congratulate the winner and Brian for giving his poem and speaking about it. It was a really lovely poem, I think. Very original. Really loved it. Also, just our school's doing great, 25 seniors graduating and 70 new students coming fourth quarter. It's a lot. But yeah, our school's doing amazing, and everyone's doing their part as is, and it's really amazing. Very proud of everybody. And yeah, good evening, everybody, and that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Comments from the superintendent.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Martinez, members of the board, members of the community. A few things. These past couple of weeks provided an opportunity to really celebrate some of the incredible things going on across the district. I had the honor of attending the Capital Dinner recognition for, we celebrated Assistant Principal David Yang, Elementary School Principal, as he got the Co-Administrator of the Year. And thank you to him for his leadership here in the district. And just events like this remind us of how fortunate we are with the dedicated leaders and support staff and employees of the district, and always supporting our students. I also wanted to recognize Casera Middle School. I know I mentioned it before, but also being identified as a California Schools to Watch Middle School. This designation highlights the school's strong academic programs, the supportive learning environment, and the commitment of ensuring every student succeeds. So I want to congratulate the students, the staff, the leadership at Casera for an outstanding accomplishment. While there, also Cobb Middle School received also their redesignation as a California Schools to Watch Middle School. So congratulations to them again. And I did actually want to say I enjoyed the opportunity to sit and have lunch and talk to some of the teachers that were there at the recognition, and I appreciated the time with them and having lunch and chatting with them. And so congratulations to the staff for both school sites. I know it's been mentioned here, but I do want to congratulate Eisenhower High School for the 2026 California Distinguished School. So specifically, they're being recognized for success in achievement gap closure. So this is a significant honor that reflects the hard work of the teachers, the students, counselors, the entire staff there who committed to ensuring all students have an opportunity to excel at school. So congratulations to them. I had an opportunity earlier this week to visit Frisbee Middle School. I did see the trees in the area there. I got an opportunity to walk through several of the math and science classrooms there. It was great seeing teachers working with kids, engaging. They had a lot of student teachers there as well that I think helped support some of the learning going on there. So just personally want to thank everybody at the school site for their work. Also wanted to congratulate the 2 additional classified employees of the year that were recognized this week. I believe we have 1 left to go this week. But I just want to make sure, our classifieds, they do play a key role in supporting our daily operations of our schools, ensuring our students have the resources they need to be successful. I do want to do a special thank you to 2 VAPA teachers. I believe it was Nathaniel Robinson and Ophelia Fitzpatrick for putting time they spent putting up here some of the work from our students. As you can see, that reflects some of the work from elementary all the way through high school of our students work there. So thank you to them for taking the time to put that up there, as well as Yuri Alvarez for putting up the display board back here for Women's History Month. So I just want to make sure I give a special thanks to them. So thank you for all that. I do want to thank staff across the district for their hard work, continued dedication and commitment to the students here of the Rialto Unified School District. I know their efforts make a big difference in the lives of the students we serve. So thank you. And just as a reminder to, I'm sure staff knows this, but the community as well, spring break will take place March 23rd to the 27th. So we hope our students, staff, and families enjoy a safe and restful break. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alvarez. Okay, time to hear from the board. And let's go ahead and Dr. Lewis.
Rialto have such a rich military history between George, Norton, March Air Force. A lot of people settled in Rialto. They were brought to this area, even Ike Eisenhower. And when we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, there's a cost. And so the woman that I would like to pay homage to is Nicole Armour, who died in active duty in the war of Iran. And there's going to be more. We have a strong ROTC. We have a strong commitment and recognition and honor for our flag and for our men and women in uniform. And being from a very proud military family, and graduation will be different because we have a lot of high school seniors who already, plan to go in the military, and having a son who will be graduating in May. And he's one that fought really hard to be accepted, even though he has a disability. He does not want to be singled out, and so they fought hard to be, even with a disability, that he could serve in some capacity. So, where there's life and hope, but when you die for your country, whether you agree with politics or not, that's the ultimate price that people are serving, and women and those children that they have, mothers and fathers and grandparents. I just want to pay our respect, and knowing that each time we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, that's a price that we're paying. And so this have new meaning that's relevant to the younger people. You have every generation. And so being the strong history in Rialto that we have, and we have families that a lot of different issues are going on, but this is a issue that we have to really think about. So many women that are in the military now and might not be coming home, or might not be coming home the same. And that goes for reservists. I went to a lot of the events and celebration and the outstanding things that going on in the district. But my heart is heavy each time I see that solemn, respect of when they're saluting a casket that comes back with the flag. So I just want us to really pay respects, and knowing that there's a price. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Dominguez.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Good evening, Rialto. March holds a special significance for me, as it marks both the beginning of my journey into motherhood and the observance of Women's History Month. During this month, we honor women from diverse backgrounds, recognizing those who have shaped history, as well as those who have contributed daily through their nurturing care and affection. Epsie Campbell Barr, an economics activist and political leader who spent decades advancing Afro-descendant rights, equal equality, and women's leadership in public life. Domalita Barrio de Charuga, a mining labor activist, a female organizer who became an international voice for women's rights, political resistance, and women in Bolivia's labor movement. Ofelia Medina, a Mexican actor and activist who has spent decades supporting indigenous communities, cultural perseverance, and environmental justice. Mariela Franco, Afro-Brazilian human rights leader and Rio councilwoman who fought political violence, racism, and inequalities before her assassination in 2018. Rigoberta Menchú, activist and Nobel Prize winner who brought global attention to indigenous rights, state violence, and Guatemalan genocide. Francis Marquez, Afro-Colombian environmental and human rights activist who organized communities against illegal mining and becoming a global voice for dignity, justice, and collective resistance. Our mothers, grandmothers, great grandmothers, aunts, cousins are pivotal, influential to our lives, consistently offering daily support and fostering our growth to move forward. As we progress into negotiations, I extend my gratitude to everyone who came to support our classified and certificated employees. As a woman of faith, I firmly believe that we will successfully navigate through this process, enabling us to fulfill enabling us to fulfill the primary objective, which is putting our students first. I had the privilege to participate and read across Rialto. I was able to read at Boyd and at Kelly Elementary, where I presented as the Little Mermaid, so nobody knew me as Miss Dominguez. The book I selected was a book about water and the crucial importance of water for both for our human body and for the land. It is consistent that the young students are the most generous with their compliments, the kindergartens and the preschoolers. I also had the opportunity to read to my eldest son's class before his transition into middle school, which is an emotional experience for me, since I know that this will be the last time that I will read to him in elementary school before he leaves. I do want to congratulate Miss Mia Orozco, proudly displaying her 6th place trophy in the San Bernardino County Spelling Bee, as she advances into the final round and achieving a commemorable placement in the competition that encompassed schools throughout the entire county. She did that. She did that. That is? Yes. Yay! And she's from Eubanks. Eubanks. Go Huskies, right? We have much to celebrate within Rialto. These successes would not be possible without the dedication and efforts of our classified and certificated employees. You are important to Rialto, and your contributions ensures its continued operation. I extend my sincere gratitude to you all. So thank you and have a good night.
Clerk Williams?
Hi. I want to begin by highlighting a few examples of the powerful learning opportunities happening across Rialto that directly align with our district goals around student engagement, academic growth, and whole child development. Recently, I had the opportunity to see our 4th graders engage in hands-on science learning during a field trip to our district STEM center. What stood out most was the level of curiosity and excitement from our students. Experiences like these matter. They spark imagination and open doors to possibilities students may not have considered before. When students have opportunities for real-world science exploration, we may very well be igniting the passion of a future rocket scientist, or a programmer, or just somebody really good at honeydews. The STEM Center is a jewel within our district, and I encourage continued investment in expanding those opportunities. Thank you, Mrs. Juanita Chan, for all you do to grow the STEM programs throughout the district and everyone, the rest of our staff that supports. Next, I want to acknowledge the Rialto USD Rocks Conference for Girls. I extend my appreciation to Ms. Kaishana Johnson, our district lead counselor, for her vision, and to all of our counselors who completed the training. As board members, we emphasize whole child development. Programs like this and the LOVE program mentioned by our student board member Gonzalez empower our students, equipping them with tools to build healthy relationships, think deeply about their future, and foster self-confidence. Participating in Read Across Rialto was such a fun experience. I mean, y'all are very fun teachers, like. And our students are growing such a love for reading, and many of our teachers seem to welcome guest readers throughout the year, which provides an awesome opportunity for those who can't always make it during Read Across Rialto to pour into our students. I found myself putting those tips from the USC family literacy class into practice to be the cool reader. I tried, and they were very nice, as Mr. Dominguez mentioned. The kids are very forgiving. Speaking of our awesome family engagement programs, this week's UCLA family math class also happened to remind me of the foundation that literacy provides. The research is clear. Struggle and challenge stimulate brain growth. That was pretty cool to learn. As a district, our role is to keep fostering that growth mindset for students and ourselves. And in closing, as we saw with the ROCKS conference, when someone has a vision that aligns with our strategic plan and supports students' mental, physical, and emotional well-being, it's our responsibility to help bring that vision to fruition. Let's continue fostering innovative ideas that uplift our students and keep them at the center of all that we do. Thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Vice President Montes.
Thank you, Board President, Mr. Martinez. I first foremost want to also just say Happy Women's History Month to all the women out there.
You're welcome.
And truly thank you for everything you do. Where would we be without you? So
Not born.
so thank you guys. I also want to congratulate David Yang, administrator, for his recognition by CAPL. I believe it's the California Association Asian Pacific Islanders in Education. I think I got it right, but regardless, it was a good ceremony. I was able to attend, and very well deserving for a good, hardworking leader there for his school. And then I also just want to congratulate Cobb and Casera on their recognition. Congratulations to Eisenhower again. If Miss O'Kelly was here, she'd say woohoo every time somebody says Eisenhower. Congratulations to everybody. I want to thank all the teachers and the support staff for everything that you guys do. I know that oftentimes you're not thanked enough for all of the sacrifices that you make, for all of the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into being who you are and doing what you do for our students. So thank you. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a lot of the role models that I had in school, whether it be some of my teachers or some of the campus security people, some of the administrators. I had a lot of good experiences growing up with a lot of school, at the elementary school, at the middle school, at the high school, with a lot of good people, a lot of good employees. And I want you to know that we know you don't get thanked enough. And one of the best ways that we can thank you as a school district is by paying you guys very fair wages. And I want you to know that we hear you, we support you, and we will continue to advocate to get you guys the most possible. And we thank you, and thank you for everything that you guys do again. Thank you.
I agree with everything every board member said, and I thank them for that, and I thank the teachers and classified, of course. Teachers across the United States are really struggling for all the reasons given before. I look at various YouTubes, and everything I hear at the podium, I hear on the YouTube throughout the nation. They're tired for various reasons. Students, the lack of support from home, everything. So it's not just Rialto. It's not just one classroom. It's nationwide. And I get it. There's no one easy reason, one easy solution. But I thought about it long and hard. COLA really is no longer an accurate measure. So that comes from Washington. So we have to ask them, we have to demand from them to change it. Sacramento, we have to demand from them to get paid 100% instead of 80% and then the promise. That may come in a year or two. But right now we're in negotiations. So I came up with something that has always worked. To hold the politician in Sacramento accountable for all of our paychecks, for all of our education. We need to band together, start a referendum, put a vote to it, and have the public vote to have schools paid 100% of what they are owed, 100% of Prop 98. And until that happens, annually, the politician doesn't get paid. It can happen, but it's going to take all of us, and it's not going to be easy. Probably is a multi-year project. The second thing that is dear to all of our hearts, but really on mine, is reading. I watch a lot of YouTube. I came across the Mississippi, for lack of better term, the Mississippi Reading Plan, which would, the proverbial village, it would actually take, in Mississippi, it took a decade to get students to read up to third grade level by third grade. That's what we've wanted for years now. Teachers are trained in that. We have teachers on assignment. The difference was the state legislature said that students that cannot read by third grade, up to third grade level, they are held back. So I'm not sure if our parents and everyone would hold onto that, would rebel or otherwise. But that has worked several times, not only in Mississippi, but in Ohio, and at least one other place. And it's worked similar. So it depends how serious the public is and education, but most of all, it has to come from Sacramento in this case. If Sacramento is serious, I challenge them. Put something through that the kids have to read by third grade, or else they get held back. The result of those that were held back, they can read better than their peers that went immediately third grade, fourth grade progression. And those two have been on my heart and on my mind. I know how hard it is for everyone, every public member, every teacher, whatever job they hold. They all have bills. They all see the gas pump. They all see the $20 hamburger at a restaurant, the $8 hamburger at Carl's. It was a shock to me. And I'm going, wow. And right now, where our budget is, here in Rialto, the board has to make a decision. Because if we say yes right now, it will cost somebody in this room, somebody within the district, a position, at least one. Hopefully, we get that through somebody retiring. That would be the optimum. I have no problem letting someone go who's, doing a terrible job, and everybody, their peers know it. No problem letting someone go. So don't hear the messages the board doesn't want to let anybody go. I don't want to let you, the good people, go. So anyway, I'm with you on the COLA. I don't have the answer unless the state starts paying double COLA. You know how far that goes. Thank you, everyone, for everything you do. And Vertek.
Board President, being a Alabama, living close to Mississippi is complicated. I just
Oh, yeah.
reading is complicated. Just had to
Wherever
put
you
it
are,
out there.
If you're behind the book and you're a little kid, it's complicated for sure. Okay, we continue. We have no public hearings, and now we are moving on to consent calendar items. All items on the consent calendar will be acted upon in one motion unless pulled by Board of Education members or the superintendent for individual action. Okay, do we have a motion and a second?
So move.
Okay, do we have any questions, comments, or polls? Okay. In that case, we will go ahead and vote on, first of all, to approve the consent calendar. Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Clerk Williams?
Aye.
Vice President Montez? And myself, aye. Then I see that we have all these listed, even though it says upon in one motion.
Yeah, we did.
We just passed them.
Yeah. We'll go to F.
Yeah.
Page 23.
Okay, F, discussion action items. Approve the second interim financial report for the fiscal year 25-26.
So move.
Thank you. Thank you. Approve the fiscal year 25-26 second interim financial report with a positive certification, as the district will meet its obligations in the current and subsequent 2 fiscal years only if planned reductions are implemented. Only if planned reductions are implemented. Okay, questions or comments from the board? Okay, Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Ms. Dominguez?
Aye.
Clerk Williams?
Aye.
Montez? Aye. Martinez, aye. F2, approve the Board of Education meeting schedule for the 2026-2027 school year.
So move. Second.
Thank you. And questions or comments? Okay. Our student board member is not here. She just stepped out. Dr. Lewis, how do you?
Aye.
Dominguez?
Aye.
Williams?
Aye.
Montez? Martinez, aye. Stipulated expulsions. Motion and second?
Second. I so moved. Sorry.
That works. Do we have a first or a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Dominguez?
Aye.
Williams?
Aye.
Montez? And I. Okay, adjournment. The next regular meeting of the Board of Education of the Rialto Unified School District will be held on April 8th, 2026 at 7 p.m. at the Dr. John R. Casalunas Education Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Materials distributed or presented to the Board of Education at the board meeting are available upon request from the superintendent's office. Motion and
So
second.
move.
Second.
Thank you. And everyone at once, aye?
Aye.
Aye. 8:44.